You're all that matters, you know. You three. That's why we left. I wanted to find a home that was worthy of you. We're gonna make it. Of course we are. Every problem has a solution.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I love how complicated the Robinsons are.
Cool.
They feel so, I mean, not quite at each other's throats, I guess, but they've got so many layers they're dealing with. What was that like when you guys are playing this out? Did you spend time together first before you started filming, or did it start fresh?
I didn't know any of the actors before we started, and we didn't have a lot of time before we started shooting, but, they're just such great people, and we've become really, really close, and particularly the kids, and the kids are just such smart, not Hollywoody, just wonderful, wonderful kids. And Toby Stevens, who plays my husband in the show, he and I spent a lot of time trying to make sure that the relationship between the parents was real and complex. And, I love that this show, the romance is between the parents, and that the writers have kind of given them somewhere to go.
Yeah. And it's pretty rare in this kind of setup, really, to have that kind of friction, and yet you can tell that there's that magnetic attraction, that they're always kind of hovering around each other.
Right.
Did you guys find that developed? I mean, it must change as you get through the first season.
Well, the script is really the thing that takes you through it. So, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
When you're doing a show like this, did you watch any of the old episodes? I'm sure there's some stuff to glean, but
Sure.
This is so original as well.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the original when Netflix first approached me about doing the show, and I guess I had a kind of idea of it, like that there was a robot and some super cheesy sets. So I wasn't altogether convinced that it was a good idea. But then I read the script, and the script was so nuanced, and just, you're right into the action right away. And I felt very comforted by the fact that Netflix was making it, because I knew that they would support it in the way that it would need to be supported. So once we started shooting, I'm trying to remember, but about a month in, I think, I went back and I watched the entire first season of the original with my son. And it was fantastic to watch it, because even kids have such sophisticated viewing habits. I mean, there's just so much media available for them now. So, he's 11, and sort of watching him watch it, he's like, oh, that's a guy. That's not an alien. That's a guy in a suit that's furry. But then he would still get scared, and he would still get engaged. And I think the thing that we have really brought forward is just the sense of fun that the show has.
But the other thing I really appreciate is that the original series had a very strong mother. She was beyond her years, and here again, I find that Maureen is so beyond what we've seen in other mothers, maybe in some shows.
What's funny, this idea of mother as a stereotype is really one that I am interested in just smashing, because, I'm a mother. There are, lots and lots and lots of us, and we're not all mother. And this woman, is probably more kind of like science-minded, right-brained, logical, rational than, any mother we've seen, I think, on TV. And I think that's interesting. Her difficulties really are around her lack of emotional intelligence.
And that is some of the best parts of seeing the father kind of bring in some of
Yeah.
that sometimes when
Yeah.
he's not even ready for that sometimes.
Right. And even though like the father character is, he's a warrior, he's a soldier, so he's quite sort of manly and, tough. But he actually turns out to be the one with the most capacity for a sort of emotional connection with the kids. Yeah, I mean, I think our writers are great. And I also they love women, like smart, strong women. And so I think that comes out in the material. And the other thing that I think is really important about the show is that, it's 30 years in the future, and they have imagined a world in which all this stuff that we're talking about these women being strong female characters, is never discussed because it's just assumed that any woman could do the job that a man could do, period.
Right.
And it's going to be great to not have to have this conversation anymore,
Right.
Exactly how lost are we talking about?
Yeah, like can't find your car in the parking lot kind of lost?
Well, if this is Earth and this is Alpha Centauri, we are metaphorically maybe 600-year drive away? Maybe?
Okay, so not metaphorically.
Trillions of light years. It's, Look, if we got here, we can get back.
So, how do we get back?
I love the fact, too, that this is actually a family-friendly show. And, I mean, the trailer I didn't really fully realize until I started watching the show. And it's nice to see a complex show that is still family-friendly.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of shows that play it really safe,
Yeah.
I guess, when they come to that. So, is it refreshing to have something, too, you can watch with your family?
I am so thrilled. I mean, I think there's a real lack of shows out there that you can watch with your kids and you both are really engaged and want to watch it, So I think this fits right into that space. But it's like it's fun and it's exciting, but it's also sophisticated enough, I think, to keep adults engaged.
Oh, I was
Good.
glued to the screen,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, good.
What can you tease, I guess? What are we going to see for Maureen and the family as we get deeper into this season?
So without giving too much away, there are space eels. There are, these poor people just get like one thing thrown at them after another.
The first episode gave me anxiety.
I know.
I was sitting there watching
The script gave
going,
me
"Oh my God."
the script gave me anxiety. That there's something that happens right in that first, that as a person with claustrophobia, it just absolutely freaked me out. But it's great, and it's so spectacular. I can't believe what they did with the special effects. It's fantastic.
That's cool. And then in terms of Maureen, is there something she does later in the season that you were really excited to do or play that you haven't done maybe?
A lot of what I did on this show I've never done before. I've never done a science fiction show.
Right.
I haven't, I've done a lot of period pieces, but I haven't done any like future period pieces. And the writers at the beginning of the production kept sort of joking with me that they were going to turn me into an action hero. I was like, yeah, right. It's, not my, definitely I would say that's not my forte. But as it went along, it turned out they were serious. So she's tough, and that's pretty fun. That's fun to get to play. Yeah.
It really jumps right into
the action in the present.
It's
yeah.
amazing how quickly it gets started.
Yeah, it's cool.
But I love the history, the fact that we get so much of their complicated dynamics from that.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you appreciating it. Thank you.
Maureen, can this thing run on fumes?
Sure as hell hope so.